everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today we have another speed reviews. So I have 3 different eyeshadow palettes that we're going to be taking a look at. That is these 3 around here, and then we also have 2 blush palettes that we're going to take a look at, as well as just a ton, just a ton of lip glosses and different lip oils and balms and just all of the things that we're going to take a look at today. So very excited to jump into this with you guys. So let's start off with the blush palettes. We have from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, this is their Juicy Cheeks face palette, and this is what it looks like on the inside. It is all matte blushes, so there's no blush toppers or anything like that in here, and it goes from the range of like yellows and oranges all the way down to your purples, and I absolutely love it. It is such a good palette. I had done several looks that I've been trying out over the last few weeks, and they are just such good shades. They're not too pigmented, but you can easily build them up if you're wanting to have like a huge blush moment. And I absolutely love it. And I am a huge sucker for yellow and purples for blushes. They are some of my favorites, especially in the summertime. A good yellow or orange blush. If you are wanting like that sun-kissed glow kind of look and you are very pale like me, the yellows and oranges are actually the way to go, because it makes it look so much more natural. If you just have a little bit of orange and then you blend it in with a nice light bronzer, it looks so good. And so I cannot get enough of it. So the fact that they had that in there, and then purples are such a good one for like heading into late fall, early winter time frame. I absolutely love them. And then we know I love a good burnt rose. I've got kind of a burnt rosy blush on today, and it is so good. So if you're ever able to get a hold of this guy, it is very good. Then we have from P. Louise the My First Blush palette, and this guy is a mammoth size one. We're gonna take a look in a later video at the highlighter palette, but this is the blush. I am doing it upside down so I don't blind you guys with the mirror. Very similar to the Blend Bunny Cosmetics one in that there are no blush toppers. It is just matte shades, but you can very clearly see on here that the theme is pink. So if you are not someone that enjoys a good pink blush, this is probably not the palette for you. But if you do enjoy pinks in all shade ranges, and some of them are a little bit more warm toned, some of them are more cool toned, some lean, like these 2 right here, lean a little bit more corally. They're a little bit more on the slightly orange side there. You can see it a little bit better, but you have this Barbie pink here. You've got a very bright fuchsia, and then kind of more of a deeper reddish pink. So lots of different ranges of the blush shades on there, but all leaning more towards the pink. The formula is really good, very similar to the Blend Bunny one. Starts off a little bit lighter, and then you can easily build it up if you want to, or just keep it nice and light, blends in beautifully. But it is, again, primarily just pinks. So that is my only thing for you guys as far as this one goes. If you enjoy the P. Louise formula and you like pinks, it's a great one. If you don't like pinks, I would probably skip this one and instead stick with this guy, because this is definitely, I think, one of my favorite blush palettes ever. I used to think that the, let's see here, where is it? The Scott Barnes one used to be my favorite, because it also had some of those nice yellowish orangey kind of corally tones, has a couple deeper mauvey tones on this side as well. Also does include 2 highlighter shades that you can use as toppers on here. So very nice versatile palette. But I think for me, I actually like the bold colors of the Blend Bunny one a little bit better. But I'll show you them both right next to each other so you can see a little bit more of the difference between the 2, because you will notice that the shades are a bit more muted in the Scott Barnes one versus the Blend Bunny Cosmetics one. But you can see some very similar shades, but overall I think that the Blend Bunny one just offers a lot more versatility if you are someone that really likes very colorful blushes. If you prefer more of the muted shades, the Scott Barnes one might actually be pretty good for you. So just kind of depends. They do also on occasion have sales on the Scott Barnes website, so I would maybe wait for a sale because his products do tend to run a bit more pricey than what I think they should. And so if you can catch it when it's on sale, then maybe pick this one up instead. And then we're gonna move into the lip products, and to start off, we have two from Juvia's Place. I grabbed two of their lip oils, and these are both very, very nice. None of them really have a whole lot of tint to them. They just kind of look clear on the lips. But my favorite thing to do with lip oils is to put them on in the evenings before I go to sleep, so that it has the whole night without me really moving to really soak into my lips so that they stop being so dry. And that seems to have worked pretty well for me of late, and so I would recommend that. They are a nice, very lightweight lip oil, and they have very cute smells. So the yellow one is the mango scent, and definitely smells like lightweight mango. It's not too overbearing, but still a very nice scent. And then the blue one was blueberries. This one, not as great of a scent. Like, I've been kind of primarily sticking with the yellow one anyway, but the blue one, the scent was a little bit off-putting because it comes across a bit more chemically rather than like blueberry flavored. So I thought that was a little bit interesting, but the mango one is super great. I've been using it a lot, and it's just a really nice formula. It's not overly sticky or anything like that. And so if you just like a nice lip oil and you're wanting to hydrate your lips, the Juvia's Place ones, I know they have two others. I think one of them is more pinkish reddish, and then I think they have a green one, but they do have two other shades. And I mean, I recommend the mango one. The blue one, but the mango for sure is a really, really good one.
Hello, boo-boo. Oh, sweet girl. Where you headed? Yes, ma'am. Yes, hello, sweet girl.
Rogue decided to come by and say hello for a second. And now Falco's a little bit jealous, but you can see she's enjoying her tail is wagging. She's like, oh man, I get to move around.
All right, Rogie.
So the next thing up is going to be from Winky Lux. They have a whole range of balms that you can get. It's at Target, any of the drugstore places where you can get Winky Lux. And so I ended up picking this up, I'm pretty sure at Ulta. And this is their rainbow balm. So it has like a bit of a rainbow. So it goes from blue to orange to red. And it is one of those that is pH. And so it will kind of tint your lips a little bit depending on what your pH level is. And so for me, it just kind of makes them a little bit more rosy than what they would normally be. My lips tend to kind of be fairly neutral in tone, and so anything that I put on there looks a little bit crazy to me. But this is just a really nice natural kind of look, and it lasts for a very, very long time. That was, I think, the thing that I enjoyed the most out of this, is that this balm legitimately, even if I'm eating or if I'm talking a whole bunch, the moisture just lasts just a stupid amount of time, like all day. And I'm out there teaching all day, and so I'm talking, drinking water, eating food. So if you're looking for a long-lasting balm, this is the one. Like, I was super impressed. And so if you haven't checked out Winky Lux yet, definitely check them out. They have like a whole bunch of different ones. They have like different designs on them beyond just this rainbow one, and they are all that pH style. So go check them out, and they come in this like cute little silvery tube that looks like a pill. So I mean, very cute and absolutely worth it. I've been going through this guy so much. I just keep it in my pocket, and yeah, I would say it's already like a quarter used up, and I only got it like a couple weeks ago, but I am just out there every day using it, so highly recommend this guy. So the final lip products that we're going to take a look at are from Kiki's Cosmetics, and that is actually a brand that I found on TikTok. And originally I was kind of like, I don't know, because I've had some not as great things with some TikTok makeup brands that like do the whole making the products themselves. And I mean, that's kind of the nature of indie brands, but I was a little bit suspicious just because there's this other one that I tried that is Boss Gloss, and that brand did not end up working out as great as I would have liked. I'm still on the fence on the products themselves, but there were some issues with shipping and things like that, and so I've just been very hesitant. But Kiki's Cosmetics, I have right now the orange one on my lips, and this is just, I mean, it smells like orange creamsicle. It is so good. All of the scents of all of the lip glosses are so good, and I think one of the things that I enjoy the most, I have 3 of them here that are two-toned. So you have this guy that is bluish, like a blue sparkle with a green, then you have this guy that's a deep black with some bluish sparkle and then orangish red, and then you have this guy which is orange and kind of a magenta sparkle. And I absolutely love these. They are so fun, and especially this guy. So she's been doing these like astrological sign different lip glosses. This is the Leo one, and I could not have chosen a better lip gloss for Leo. It's like all of them smell delicious. So this guy, I would say, smells very sweet, a little bit fruity. Can't quite put my finger on which fruit, but it is just so cute, and I love these 2 shades together. I don't know if you guys remember from Fenty over the summer, they had that limited edition packaging, and they had the PH blush on there that was like this shade where it was this kind of orangish into sunset purple, and I was so devastated that I did not get it in time, because I was like, I somehow in my mind didn't connect the dots that it was limited edition, and so I was like, oh, I'll pick it up in a little bit, and then it was sold out everywhere, and so heartbroken because I wanted that blush stick so badly. But I at least got something that is similar with the lip gloss, so I was very excited about that. And then this one is actually from the Stranger Things themed, and so it's called the Upside Down, and I love watching her TikToks because she shows everything, how she makes her products, how she goes about cleaning the machines, so you get to see all the behind the scenes. And so as far as like indie brands out of TikTok, Kiki's Cosmetics is one that I would highly recommend. They, the lip glosses are a little bit on the thicker side, and so you want to do a light coating. Otherwise you're gonna end up with it being very goopy, but you don't need a lot to get the shine. Like a little bit goes a long way with these guys. So just one dip into the tube covers my whole mouth, and it's at like the perfect amount where it's not gonna get goopy. So that's my suggestion when you're applying them. Don't go too heavy, because I made that mistake. I had also gotten the pink drink one, and then I put it on thinking, oh, it's gonna be super light, and so I just like one dab into the container for the bottom lip, one onto the top one, and I was like, oh, so goopy everywhere. You do not need a lot. So one dip in covers your whole mouth. And these also last a really long time with the hydration. Some of them are color changing, so if you're not a fan of color changing ones, definitely double check on her website which ones are, because I think she has 2 or 3 that are color changing, where it starts off as one shade and then kind of changes into a different one. So I would definitely check on that. But I'm a huge fan of them. I will say, as with many indie brands, when they're becoming more popular, she does sell out very quickly. So you do need to double check when her different restocks are, so that you can definitely get them, because she does sell out very quickly. It is just her, and I think her mom and some of her friends help her with everything. She's, I think, like 19 or 20 years old, and so I love supporting her. She's put like her heart and soul into this business, and the products are really good. Have not had anything bad happen at all. She also sometimes has this little mini collection of, I think, like 8-ish of the shades, but they're all like little mini sticks, so if you're wanting to try them out, you just get little mini versions, and that one is also super cute. So definitely go check her out. I'll have everything linked down below if you guys are wanting to take a look at Kiki's Cosmetics. All right, and then finally we're gonna go over the 3 palettes. So as you guys already saw a couple videos ago, I did couple videos, or was it the last one? I don't even know. It's been so long since I've posted. I'm so sorry about that, but life happens, I guess. We'll do a chatty get ready with me at some point here in the near future. We'll kind of talk about things, but it's it's been ups and downs, you know, life happens sometimes. So this is from Cosmic Brushes. This is Delicious Delights. I absolutely love their formula. This is such a fun palette, so perfect for summertime. Quite a few multi-chromes in here, as well as some other really nice shimmers. The matte shades blend beautifully. I will say that the look that I came up with, because it was a palette bingo, did not turn out as great as I would have liked. And the irony is that for the next palette that we're gonna talk about, which is the Salem Cosmetics one, I actually had almost identical shades that I put together for a look, but that one turned out so much better just with how I was combining them on my face. So it is really one of those things that's just so interesting with how color combos work, and like understanding color theory, is that you can have the same shades, and depending on which order you put them in and how you blend them, it can look amazing or it can look absolutely terrible. But this was the one that we had for the Cosmic Brushes one, and that is not at all indicative of the quality of the shadows. I will, however, say that they blended really nicely together. I didn't like how the green and the blue kind of looked a little bit muddy on there, and it just, those were two that I should not have blended the way that I did. And then throwing the pink on the inner corner, I think just didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to. But you try out things and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And so it is what it is. But I still love the formula. I think it's really good. But I will offer to you guys that if you are wanting similar shades and you are wanting them to be more pigmented, the Salem Cosmetics one is the one to pick up. This is the collab between Salem Cosmetics and Smink, who is an absolutely amazing artist. She is on Instagram. I will link her Instagram handle down below. I absolutely love her. Sweetest human being you will ever come across. And her eye looks, she is so creative with how she does everything, and her color theory is like spot on. So this is the Forest Heart palette. I'll show you guys the inside. Very bright and bold colors. The shimmers are really nice, and the look that I ended up coming up with, again, very similar shades, but just look at the difference between the two on how pigmented one is versus the other. It is just absolutely crazy to me just how pigmented the Salem Cosmetics shades were. So highly recommend that palette, or really any of the palettes from Salem Cosmetics, because if you are wanting something that is very pigmented but still works really easily on the eye, that's the one to go with. I will say, I mean, I absolutely love the Cosmic Brushes formula as well, but if you're wanting the shades to be super pigmented, you do have to work a little bit more on them than I would say you would with the Salem Cosmetics one. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. But I mean, price-wise, both of them are extremely reasonable, and shipping was great, so I have no complaints at all. Cosmic Brushes is out of the UK, whereas Salem Cosmetics is out of the US, and so just kind of depends also on where you live, if you're wanting to kind of deal with the shipping costs and things like that. But I mean, also just look at the designs on the front. The Cosmic Brushes one is fairly, I would say, standard, but the Forest Heart one, I mean, it gives me very much Ensley Rain's vibes, where Ensley Rain is also another indie brand. They are, I would say, a more pricey indie brand, definitely more on the high end. I have a palette from them as well as several singles that we will take a look at soon. Cosmic Dreaming one. I was very devastated that I missed out on the first go of their fall palette. So as soon as that puppy is back in stock, I'll be picking it up because it looks absolutely stunning. A very good friend of mine, Debbie from the channel Debutante, she was just taking a look at some of the Ensley Rain palettes, and so I'll link her down below if you're wanting to check out her channel as well, to just kind of get a preview of some of the quality of the shades, because Ensley Rain is also definitely very up there. But the cover just kind of gives me that similar enchanted fairy forest kind of vibe that Ensley Rain has a lot with their packaging, and I love that aesthetic, so definitely check out Salem Cosmetics. And then the last one that we're going to take a look at it is from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. This is the Into the Night palette, and that is actually the eye look that I have on my eyes right now, so I will come in a little bit closer. so that way you guys can see what I have on. I used 2 of the matte shades in the palette as well as 2 of the shimmers, and the silver on the inner corner was just, it was calling my name. So I ended up using the 2 kind of greenish tones that are here, the lighter one, and then the outer corner I used the deeper shade, and then I used this particular shimmer, which is a duochrome. I used that guy to kind of cover the, I would say, inner half to 2/3 of my lid, and then I used the silver, which is just an absolutely stunning metallic. I love it. It's so good. And what's crazy is both the shimmer and the metallic, I did not use any additional products. There was no additional setting spray, there was no water, there was nothing, no glitter glue, anything. And so these were just with a dry brush that I packed on, and you're already getting like a ton of pigment on there. And if I had used, I was on the fence about using setting spray with this guy right here for on the lid, because I was like, do I really want it to stand out even more? But I kind of like the more muted look just because I think it goes with the matte shades where they still get to have their moment rather than just being completely covered by the shimmers. So I really like how the look turned out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And so I have zero complaints on this. Glaminatrix does an amazing job. I do want to talk about their Sugar and Spice palette, which came in the mail recently. I was kind of surprised on this guy. So this is the color story. Very beautiful, much more cool toned with everything. The shades look absolutely stunning. But I was surprised at the pan size because I don't remember reading on the website that the pan sizes were going to be smaller. But to give you a side-by-side, this is the normal pan size that you get from Glaminatrix. This pan size is more similar for their mini palettes. I don't remember specifically what the other mini palette was besides the Sandra Rose, but that's the pan size that you were getting with those. I don't remember seeing anything on the website that was saying that the Sugar and Spice was going to be a mini size pan. So I'll double check on that, but very interesting. Okay, so I double checked on the website and it doesn't mention anything about it being a mini palette of any kind. However, it does say at the bottom that the pans are 22.65 millimeters instead of the normal standard 26. So that is a little bit interesting, but I will also say that the price, I would say, aligns with that. So it's $54.66, which makes sense. I don't think price-wise that's too out of the realm, especially considering that you were getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades that are either iridescent multichromes, standard multichromes, or your chromed out metallics. So you were getting a lot of really, really nice shades in there. And so that, to me, price-wise, I think makes sense. I just was not expecting it, so I guess that was my bad for not paying attention enough on the website, because it definitely surprised me when I opened it up at first and I was like, what's up with the size of the pants? So that was just my own thing. Highly recommend picking this up if you have not yet. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's got this kind of like faux leather journal kind of vibe to the cover. And then inside, the shades truly are just absolutely gorgeous. My iridescent did come a little bit broken, but I was able to just repress it, so that was no problem at all. But this is a beautiful iridescent. And then you have some very stunning shades. This guy right here looks like an absolutely gorgeous kind of shifty chrome. Then you've got this guy that is also definitely a multi-chrome on there. Although I will say that's a fairly standard multi-chrome shade, where it's got that like gold to orange to kind of limey green into the deeper cranberry red. We see that fairly frequently. The basil shade is like a purple into navy blue into kind of silvery, but also giving very foiled kind of vibes. The fennel shade is like a goldish to green to blue. Very pretty. Nutmeg looks like it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous kind of rose gold foil. So lots of very beautiful shades. Very, very nice. But highly recommend checking them out. I know the Into the Night I don't think that one's coming back anymore. It was also a bit of a complicated color story. So when you look at it, I know that some people were talking to me about it, how they were trying to figure out what kind of color stories to make out of this. So if you do own it, some of the color stories that I would recommend, kind of like the look I did today, is to stick with your cool toned greens with the silvers. I also really love the combination of the yellow with this magenta pink, and then this guy as your metallic with that would be absolutely stunning. I think doing a monochromatic look with kind of the navy blue and then having this guy as the front half. So it would definitely be one of those ones where you would want to break up some of the shades into different color combos, but I really like it, and I do think that it has a good range of light to dark shades. So I was mainly checking it out for the formula for you guys. Formula did not disappoint, so if you have not grabbed this guy yet, definitely recommend picking it up. That is everything that I have for you guys for today for the speed reviews. I would love to know what you thought of everything. What do you think of today's eye look with the Into the Night palette? I think it turned out really, really nice. And I would love to know, especially, has anyone else picked up anything from Kiki's Cosmetics? I would love to find out that. And were any of you guys able to pick up the blush palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics? Just curious what kinds of things you guys are grabbing. I will also have another speed reviews coming up, I would say in just a couple weeks, because I do have a bunch more palettes, as well as to compare. I have from Kaleidos the multi-chrome pencils, and I had done a video where I was swatching those for you guys like a while ago when they first came out, but Moira Cosmetics came out with a whole bunch. And so I thought I would do a comparison between the two for you guys to kind of let you know which one is better, because Kaleidos definitely takes a hot minute to ship to the US. And so if we are able to get something that is far closer, where the shipping does not take nearly as long, and Moira Cosmetics is definitely a less expensive brand to grab things from, I would be very, very interested in that. And the shades that I grabbed, I only grabbed 6 of them. They had a bunch more. So I am super curious to see how those end up going. So that will be in the next speed reviews. I also picked up from Makeup by Mitchell 2 of the blush shades that they have. Of course, yellow and purple, are we surprised? So I have a bunch of those things. So lots of stuff coming up in the next speed reviews. But the next video that we will have is the August P. Louise unboxing for the subscription box, and then after that, a whole bunch of highlighters that we'll be taking a look at. I had on today the Adept Cosmetics. This is the Ketracel White. I know that they're bringing this guy back, as well as coming up with like a dark version where the palette is like a black kind of outer packaging and has some different shades, but they have 2 cream highlighters in there, as well as 2 of your kind of more standard pressed pigment ones that are these little rainbow shades. So I have the cream one that is this Vorta kind of yellowish to pink shade, and it blended out really, really nicely, just gives a super nice subtle glow. So I really enjoyed that. But we have a ton of highlighters that we are going to be comparing, so that you guys know all the different formulas and what I would recommend from indie brands out there lately. So that is what we have to look forward to. Good news is I have already filmed those, so they are guaranteed to come your way. So at least you have that to look forward to. We also have from Touch of Glam this whole palette. We have already swatched in past videos this portion as well as this portion, so I will link those in that swatching video. But we have this whole entire portion of brand new shades of multi-chromes, and they are all that foiled multi-chromes. So that one has also been filmed. Very exciting. So lots of good things that have already been filmed that will be coming your way. So hopefully you guys will enjoy all of that. But let me know what you thought of everything. And other than that, you just go have a good one.